Commander Sophia Blackwood stood at the observation deck of the Stellar Research Station Omega, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling anomaly that had appeared just beyond Jupiter's orbit. 20 years of space exploration hadn't prepared her for this moment. The phenomenon defied every known law of physics, its iridescent surface rippling with patterns that seemed to exist in dimensions beyond human comprehension. "Commander, you need to see this," Dr. Jasmine Patel's voice crackled through the comm system. The station's lead quantum physicist had been analyzing the anomaly since its appearance 3 days ago. "The readings, they're unlike anything we've ever encountered." Sophia made her way through the station's curved corridors, the gentle hum of life support systems accompanying her measured steps. In the main research lab, holographic displays filled the air with cascading data streams. Jasmine's fingers danced across multiple interfaces, her traditional Indian bindi catching the blue light of the screens. "Look at these energy signatures," Jasmine pointed to a particularly complex set of equations. "They suggest the anomaly isn't just bending spacetime, it's operating on 8 distinct dimensional axes simultaneously." Before Sophia could respond, the station's AI, nucleus, interrupted with an urgent alert. "Unknown object emerging from the anomaly. Mass and energy readings exceed all known technological capabilities." The observation deck's massive windows revealed a sight that would forever change humanity's understanding of the universe. A vessel emerged from the anomaly, its form seemingly impossible, angles that shouldn't exist, surfaces that appeared to fold through multiple dimensions. "Incoming transmission," Nucleus announced. "Signal pattern matches no known configuration." "Put it through," Sophia ordered, straightening her uniform. The air before them shimmered, and a figure materialized, or rather, multiple figures that seemed to occupy the same space simultaneously. Their form shifted between states of matter, a dance of energy and consciousness that challenged human perception. The being spoke, its words somehow translating directly into their minds. "We are the Tesseract Collective. Your species has been noticed." Jasmine's instruments went wild, recording energy fluctuations that threatened to overwhelm their sensors. The being continued, "Your recent experiments with quantum entanglement have created ripples through the higher dimensions. Most species require millennia to achieve such understanding. You have done so in mere centuries." Sophia maintained her composure, though her heart raced. "I am Commander Sophia Blackwood of Earth's Stellar Research Station Omega. We welcome peaceful contact with your civilization." The being's form shifted, creating patterns that seemed to hint at emotions beyond human understanding. "Peace is a concept bound by three-dimensional thinking. We offer something more valuable, evolution." Through the windows, more vessels emerged from the anomaly, each one defying physics in new and astounding ways. The being explained, "Your species stands at a crossroads. You have touched the edges of higher dimensional space without understanding its true nature. This is an invitation to transcend your current limitations." As the being spoke, Sophia felt her consciousness expanding, catching glimpses of realities that existed perpendicular to their own. The station's crew watched in awe as the alien vessels began arranging themselves in a pattern that seemed to fold through impossible geometries. "We will provide you with knowledge," the being continued, "but the journey to understanding must be your own. Your species' unique perspective, your ability to imagine beyond your dimensional constraints, makes you valuable potential allies." Dr. Patel's voice trembled with excitement as she documented everything. "Commander, the mathematical principles they're demonstrating, they're rewriting everything we thought we knew about quantum mechanics." The being's form stabilized momentarily, taking on an aspect that seemed deliberately more comprehensible to human perception. "You have 7 of your Earth days to prepare. We will return to begin the process of your species' dimensional awakening. Choose your finest minds. The journey ahead will challenge everything you believe about the nature of reality itself." As the transmission ended, Sophia turned to her crew, seeing in their eyes the same mix of fear and exhilaration that she felt. Humanity had just been invited to step beyond the boundaries of their universe, and nothing would ever be the same. "Contact Earth Command," she ordered, her voice steady despite the magnitude of what they'd just witnessed. Tell them everything has changed. And get me every quantum physicist and dimensional theorist we have. We have 1 week to prepare for the impossible." Dr. Harrison Wells paced the underground facility of Project Zenith, his weathered face illuminated by the soft glow of quantum probability maps floating in the air. The news from Station Omega had turned the scientific community upside down, but for Harrison, it was validation of theories he'd spent the last decade developing in secret. "Run the simulation again, Quantum," he commanded the facility's advanced AI system. The holographic display shifted, showing the intricate dance of particles moving through multiple dimensional planes. Since the Tesseract Collective's appearance, his team had been working around the clock to understand the mathematical principles behind their impossible technology. Dr. Amara Okafor, the facility's lead theoretical physicist, entered the lab, her traditional Nigerian headwrap adding a splash of color to the sterile environment. "Harrison, you need to see this. The data from Station Omega just came in, and it's beautiful." Together they reviewed the readings from the alien vessels, their movements through spacetime leaving traces that seemed to mock conventional physics. "Look at these patterns," Amara pointed, her voice filled with wonder. "They're not breaking the laws of physics, they're operating on a completely different set of laws altogether." Harrison's eyes widened as he spotted something in the data. "Quantum, overlay these patterns with the Fibonacci sequence and extrapolate into 8 dimensions." The AI complied, and suddenly the seemingly chaotic readings aligned into perfect mathematical harmony. "It's not about forcing our way through dimensions," Harrison muttered, more to himself than to Amara. "It's about finding the natural flows between them. The universe isn't a solid wall, it's more like a fabric with natural folds and creases." Their breakthrough was interrupted by the arrival of Director Samantha Chen, her usually stern expression replaced by barely contained excitement. "Dr. Wells, the Pentagon has approved your proposal. Project Ascension is now active." The next few days became a blur of activity. Scientists from around the world were brought in, each signing unprecedented non-disclosure agreements. The facility's lower levels were transformed into a testing ground for Harrison's theories about dimensional manipulation. Dr. Nikolai Volkov, a brilliant quantum engineer from Russia, joined their team, bringing with him prototype technology that could potentially detect the dimensional creases Harrison had theorized. "The problem," Nikolai explained during one late-night session, "isn't generating enough power. It's understanding how to apply it with the precision of a surgeon rather than the force of a sledgehammer." They made their first breakthrough on the 5th day. Using a combination of quantum entanglement and what Harrison called dimensional resonance, they managed to create a stable microportal, a tiny window into what appeared to be another dimension. "It's like looking through a kaleidoscope made of reality itself," Amara breathed, watching the swirling patterns of energy. The portal was only a few molecules wide, but it proved their theories were correct. The universe wasn't just three-dimensional with time as the fourth dimension, it was a complex tapestry of interconnected dimensional planes. On the 6th day, as the team prepared for the Tesseract Collective's return, Harrison made a discovery that changed everything. "We've been thinking about this all wrong," he announced to the assembled scientists. "We don't need to build technology to break through dimensions. We need to create something that can exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously." He pulled up a new simulation, showing a theoretical construct that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. "The human mind already operates partially in higher dimensions, that's what consciousness is. We don't need to force our way through the dimensional barrier. We need to learn to perceive it naturally." Director Chen watched the simulation with growing understanding. "You're suggesting we don't build a ship at all. We build a bridge between human consciousness and higher dimensional space." "Exactly," Harrison nodded, his eyes gleaming. "The Tesseract Collective isn't just testing our technological capabilities. They're testing our ability to transcend our own limitations. They want to know if we can make the mental leap required to truly understand higher dimensional space." As the seventh day dawned, the team had created something unprecedented, a quantum interface that could directly connect human consciousness to higher dimensional awareness. They called it the Nexus Bridge, a combination of advanced technology and revolutionary theoretical physics. "We're not ready," Nikolai worried, looking at their creation. "The human mind isn't meant to perceive 8 dimensions." Harrison smiled, thinking of humanity's long history of exceeding its supposed limitations. "That's exactly why we'll succeed. We've never let what we're meant to do stop us from doing what we need to do." As the hours counted down to the Tesseract Collective's return, Harrison felt a deep sense of certainty. Humanity wasn't just ready to step into a larger universe, they were about to show the cosmos that limitation itself was just another boundary to be transcended. Dr. Victoria Chung watched as the experimental vessel took shape in the massive underground hangar of Project Zenith. Unlike traditional spacecraft, this one seemed to flicker in and out of reality, its surfaces shifting in ways that made her eyes water. The project had been dubbed Prometheus, and like its mythological namesake, it promised to bring humanity a power previously reserved for the gods. "The quantum core is stabilizing," announced Dr. Gabriel Santos, the Brazilian engineer who had revolutionized zero-point energy technology. His holographic displays showed readings that would have been considered impossible just weeks ago. "The dimensional resonance is holding at 87% efficiency." Victoria approached the ship's outer hull, which seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. The material, a revolutionary quantum-entangled alloy, had been created by combining Dr. Wells' theories with technology reverse-engineered from the Tesseract Collective's energy signatures. "Dr. Chang." The urgent voice belonged to Yuki Tanaka, their quantum programming specialist. "We're detecting some unusual patterns in the ship's neural interface." The young Japanese programmer's fingers flew across her haptic controls, bringing up complex data streams that pulsed with 8-dimensional mathematics. Victoria hurried to Yuki's station, her heart racing. The Nexus Bridge technology that Dr. Wells had developed was being integrated directly into Prometheus's systems, allowing the ship to respond to not just physical commands, but to the crew's higher dimensional awareness. "Show me the anomaly," Victoria ordered. The display expanded, revealing patterns that seemed to move with their own intelligence. "It's not a malfunction," she realized, studying the data. "The neural interface is evolving. It's learning from our interactions with it." The discovery sent ripples of excitement through the facility. They weren't just building a ship, they were creating something that existed between technology and consciousness, a bridge between human understanding and higher dimensional reality. "We need to accelerate the timeline," announced Director Chen, entering the hangar with a group of military officials. "The Tesseract Collective's return is imminent, and we're detecting unusual energy signatures from their dimensional anomaly." Victoria turned to her team. "Gabriel, begin final integration of the quantum core. Yuki, run a full diagnostic on the neural interface. I want to understand exactly how it's evolving." She paused, looking at the shifting form of Prometheus. "And someone get me Dr. Wells. He needs to see this." The next 12 hours became a blur of activity. The ship's quantum core, a sphere of pure energy that seemed to exist in all 8 dimensions simultaneously, was successfully integrated into the main systems. The neural interface continued to evolve, developing patterns that suggested an almost organic understanding of dimensional space. "It's beautiful," breathed Dr. Wells, studying the ship's consciousness matrix. "It's not just mimicking higher dimensional awareness, it's actually achieving it. The ship is becoming a living bridge between dimensions." Victoria watched as the final calibrations were made. Prometheus was unlike anything humanity had ever created. Its hull seemed to ripple with possibilities, each surface suggesting movements through dimensions that the human mind could barely comprehend. "We're detecting a surge in the anomaly," Yuki announced suddenly. "The Tesseract Collective, they're early." Through the facility's massive view screens, they watched as the dimensional tear near Jupiter began to expand. The alien vessels emerged one by one, their impossible geometries once again challenging human perception. "Are we ready?" Director Chen asked, her voice tense with anticipation. Victoria looked at her team, seeing in their eyes the same mix of fear and determination that she felt. The ship was as ready as it would ever be. More importantly, humanity was ready to take its next great leap. "Prometheus is operational," she confirmed. "All systems are showing green across all dimensional axes. The neural interface is stable and responding to human consciousness patterns. We've done what they asked, we've created something that transcends traditional technology." As if in response to her words, the ship's quantum core pulsed with new energy, its light seeming to bend reality around it. The neural interface hummed with potential, ready to connect human consciousness to the higher dimensions that the Tesseract Collective navigated so effortlessly. "Then it's time," Director Chen nodded. "Dr. Chang, begin final preparations for launch. The crew is standing by." She paused, looking at the assembled team. "What you've accomplished here, it's beyond remarkable. You haven't just built a ship, you've created a key to unlock humanity's next evolution." Victoria turned back to Prometheus, its form shimmering with possibility. In less than 2 weeks, they had gone from theoretical physics to creating something that defied the very laws of reality. But the real test was yet to come. Soon, they would discover if humanity was truly ready to step beyond the boundaries of their universe and join the dance of higher dimensions. Captain Marcus Rhodes stood in Prometheus's command center, his mind struggling to process what his eyes were seeing. The bridge wasn't so much a room as a space where multiple dimensional planes intersected. Holographic displays floated in impossible configurations, showing readings from dimensions that shouldn't exist. "Neural interface online," announced Lieutenant Olivia Reyes, her hands moving through the quantum light controls. As the ship's consciousness expert, she had spent countless hours helping the crew adapt to the new technology. Dimensional awareness protocols are active. Marcus felt the strange sensation of his consciousness expanding as the neural interface connected. It was like suddenly gaining new senses, as if he could feel the shape of spacetime itself. Around him, the rest of the bridge crew were experiencing similar sensations, their minds linking with Prometheus's quantum core. "All systems are go," reported Commander Jean Park from the engineering station. The Korean quantum specialist had helped design the ship's revolutionary propulsion system. Quantum core is stable across all 8 dimensions. Through the ship's advanced sensors, they could see the Tesseract Collective's vessels arranged in a complex geometric pattern near Jupiter. The aliens hadn't communicated since their return, simply maintaining their position in a formation that seemed to fold through multiple dimensions. "Begin launch sequence," Marcus ordered, his voice steady despite the butterflies in his stomach. This would be humanity's first attempt at true dimensional travel. The theories had been proven, the simulations had been run, but this was the moment of truth. Prometheus hummed to life, its quantum core pulsing with energy that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Through the neural interface, Marcus could feel the ship responding not just to their commands, but to their intentions and understanding. "Detecting energy fluctuations from the collective," Olivia reported. "They're watching us." The launch countdown began. 10 seconds that would change humanity forever. Through the viewing ports, reality itself seemed to bend as Prometheus prepared to transcend traditional spacetime. 3, 2, 1, initiate dimensional shift. The universe seemed to hiccup. Marcus felt his consciousness expand exponentially as Prometheus shifted through dimensional planes. Colors that shouldn't exist flooded his vision. He could see the shape of time itself, curving and folding like a cosmic origami. "Dimensional stability at 95%, Jean reported, his voice filled with awe. "We're actually doing it. We're moving through higher dimensions." Through the ship's sensors, they could see reality from an entirely new perspective. What had once been solid matter now appeared as complex patterns of energy and probability. The Tesseract Collective's vessels were revealed as beautiful crystalline structures that existed across multiple dimensional planes. But something was wrong. The alien vessels were moving, their formation changing into something that set off warning bells in Marcus's enhanced awareness. "Captain," Olivia's voice was tense. "I'm detecting massive energy buildups from the collective. They're preparing weapons." Marcus's mind raced. Why would the collective invite humanity to achieve this breakthrough only to attack them? Unless they weren't inviting us, he realized. They were testing us. They wanted to see if we could pose a threat. The first attack came from 6 dimensions at once. Energy beams that existed outside normal spacetime lanced toward Prometheus. But the ship, guided by human consciousness and advanced technology, was ready. Evasive maneuvers. Marcus commanded, his mind melding with the ship's systems. Prometheus responded instantly, sliding between dimensional planes like a dancer moving through shadows. "They're targeting our quantum core," Jean reported. "Trying to destabilize our dimensional field." Marcus felt a deep connection with his crew through the neural interface. Their minds worked in perfect synchronization, each contributing their unique understanding to keep Prometheus stable. "Send a message to Earth," he ordered. Tell them we've awakened something. The collective sees us as a threat now that we've proven we can match their technology." Another attack came, this time from angles that shouldn't exist. But Prometheus, guided by human intuition and creativity, managed to stay one step ahead. "They're underestimating us," Olivia realized, her consciousness expanding through the neural interface. "They think we're just copying their technology. They don't understand that we're doing something completely new." She was right. While the collective's attacks were powerful and precise, they were also predictable. They followed patterns that suggested thousands of years of unchanged tactics. But humanity, with their unique perspective and adaptability, was already learning to use the technology in ways the collective hadn't imagined. "Prepare for counterattack," Marcus ordered. "Not with weapons, with understanding. Show them what humanity can really do." As Prometheus danced through dimensions, evading the collective's attacks while demonstrating capabilities that should have been impossible for such a young species, Marcus felt a strange mix of pride and concern. Humanity had proven they could transcend their limitations, but in doing so, they had caught the attention of beings who saw them as a potential rival rather than an ally. The battle for humanity's place in the higher dimensions had begun, and the outcome would determine not just their future, but their very understanding of reality itself. The observation deck of Project Zenith erupted into chaos as data streams from Prometheus flooded in. Dr. Victoria Chung watched in horror as the Tesseract Collective's true intentions became clear through the quantum communications array. "They're not just attacking Prometheus," she announced to the assembled team. "They're preparing to quarantine our entire solar system. They think we're too dangerous to be allowed into higher dimensional space." Dr. Harrison Wells rushed to her station, his eyes scanning the impossible mathematics scrolling across the screens. "Look at these patterns," he pointed. "They're trying to create a dimensional lock around our system. They want to trap us in 3-dimensional space." On the main display, they watched as Prometheus danced through reality, avoiding attacks that bent the fabric of spacetime itself. Captain Rhodes and his crew were pushing the ship's capabilities beyond anything they had designed it for, using human intuition and creativity to stay one step ahead of the collective's superior technology. "Wait," Dr. Amara Okafor called out, her fingers flying across her quantum interface. "The neural network, it's evolving again. The crew's consciousness patterns are creating something new." Through their monitoring systems, they could see what was happening aboard Prometheus. The neural interface had moved beyond simple connection, beyond even the enhanced awareness they had designed it for. The human minds linked to the system were beginning to perceive reality in ways that even the Tesseract Collective hadn't imagined. "They're not just moving through dimensions," Amara breathed. "They're beginning to understand them. Really understand them." Victoria felt her heart race as she realized what was happening. The collective uses technology to force their way through dimensional barriers. But humans, We're learning to see the barriers themselves in a new way. On the bridge of Prometheus, Captain Rhodes and his crew were experiencing something unprecedented. Their consciousness, enhanced by the neural interface but guided by human intuition, was revealing patterns in reality that had always been there but had never been perceived before. The dimensions, Lieutenant Reyes reported, her voice filled with wonder. They're not separate at all. They're like different aspects of the same thing. We've been thinking about them all wrong. Through their new awareness, they could see that the collective's attempt to quarantine Earth was based on a fundamental misunderstanding. They weren't trying to contain humanity's technology, they were trying to contain humanity's potential to see reality in new ways. Send everything we're learning back to Earth, Rhodes ordered. Dr. Chang and her team need to see this. In Project Zenith, Victoria watched as the data poured in. They're right, she announced to her team. We've been approaching this from the wrong direction. The collective thinks in terms of control and manipulation. But we're showing them something they've never seen before, adaptation and understanding. Dr. Wells nodded, a smile spreading across his face. That's why they're afraid. We're not just copying their technology. We're evolving beyond it. Through their enhanced perception, the crew of Prometheus could now see the collective's dimensional technology for what it was, beautiful but limited, locked into patterns established millennia ago. But human consciousness, with its unique ability to adapt and imagine, was already finding new ways to perceive and interact with the higher dimensions. We need to show them, Rhodes decided. Not fight them, show them what we've discovered. Using their newfound understanding, Prometheus began to move in ways that defied even 8th-dimensional physics. The ship wasn't forcing its way through reality anymore, it was flowing with it, becoming part of the natural dimensional currents that had always existed but had never been perceived before. The collective's attacks faltered as they witnessed something unprecedented. The humans weren't just surviving their assault, they were transcending it, showing them new possibilities that thousands of years of technological advancement had never revealed. They're standing down, Olivia announced, sensing the shift in the collective's energy patterns. They're trying to understand what we're doing. In Project Zenith, Victoria and her team watched as the impossible happened. The Tesseract Collective, beings they had thought so far beyond human understanding, were learning from them. The quarantine field dissipated as the aliens recognized that humanity wasn't a threat to be contained, but a species that could show them new ways of seeing reality itself. Open a channel, Rhodes ordered, feeling the shift in the higher dimensions. When he spoke to the collective, it wasn't just with words, but with the new understanding humanity had achieved. We don't want to fight you. We want to learn from you, and maybe you can learn from us too. The response came not in words but in patterns of dimensional energy that all of them could now perceive. The collective had come seeking to test humanity's readiness for higher dimensional space. Instead, they had found something they never expected, a species that could teach them to see their own universe in new ways. As Prometheus hung in space between Earth and the collective's fleet, Victoria realized that this wasn't just a first contact or a technological breakthrough. It was the beginning of something much more profound, a bridge between different ways of perceiving reality itself. Humanity had not just proven themselves ready for the higher dimensions, they had shown that they could bring something new to them. The universe, they now understood, wasn't just about the technology to traverse dimensions. It was about the ability to see them, understand them, and imagine new possibilities within them. And in that, humanity had shown itself to be not just capable, but extraordinary.